Civil liability for misstatements in prospectus. First, where a person has subscribed for securities of a company acting on any statement included or the inclusion or omission of any matter in the prospectus which is misleading and has sustained any loss or damage as a consequence thereof, the company and every person who is a director of the company at a time of the issue of the prospectus has authorized himself to be named and is named in the prospectus as a director of the company or has agreed to become such director either immediately or after an interval of time, or is a promoter of the company or has authorized the issue of the prospectus and it has expert referred to in subsection 5 of section 26 shall, without prejudice to any punishment to which any person may be liable under section 36, be liable to pay compensation to every person who has sustained such loss or damage. Second, no person shall be liable under subsection 1 if he proves that having consented to become a director of the company, he withdrew his consent before the issue of the prospectus and that it was issued without his authority or consent, or that the prospectus was issued without his knowledge or consent and that on becoming aware of its issue he forthwith gave a reasonable public notice that it was issued without his knowledge or consent. Notwithstanding anything contained in this section, where it is proved that a prospectus has been issued with intent to defraud the applicants for the securities of a company or any other person or for any fraudulent purpose, every person referred to in subsection 1 shall be personally responsible without any limitation of liability for all or any of the losses or damages that may have been incurred to any person who subscribed to the securities on the basis of such prospectus. 36. Punishment for fraudulently inducing persons to invest money. Any person who either knowingly or recklessly makes any statement, promise, or forecast which is false, deceptive, or misleading, or deliberately conceals any material facts to induce another person to enter into or to offer to enter into any agreement for or with a view to acquiring, disposing of, subscribing for, or underwriting securities, or any agreement, the purpose or the pretended purpose of which is to secure a profit to any of the parties from the yield of securities or by reference to fluctuations in the value of securities, or any agreement for or with a view to obtaining credit facilities from any bank or financial institution, shall be liable for action under section 447. Action by affected person. A suit may be filed or any other action may be taken under section 34 or section 35 or section 36 by any person, group or group of person or any association of persons affected by any misleading statement or the inclusion or omission of any matter in the prospectus. 38. Punishment for personation for acquisition etc. of securities. Any person who first makes or abets making of an application in a fictitious name to a company for acquiring or subscribing for its securities, or makes or abets making of multiple applications to a company in different names or in different combination of his name or surname for acquiring or subscribing for its securities, or otherwise induces directly or indirectly a company to allot or register any transfer of securities to him or to any other person in a fictitious name, shall be liable for action under section 447. The provisions of the subsection 1 shall be prominently reproduced in every prospectus issued by a company and in every form of application for securities. Where a person has been convicted under this section, the court may also order disgorgement of gain, if any, made by and seizure of disposal of securities in possession such person. The amount received through disgorgement or disposal of securities under subsection 3 shall be credited to the Investor Education and Protection Fund. 39. Allotment of securities by company. No allotment of any securities of a company offered to the public for subscription shall be made unless the amount stated in the prospectus as the minimum amount has been subscribed and the sums payable on application for the amount so stated have been paid and received by the company by check or other instrument. The amount payable on application of every security shall not be less than 5% of the nominal amount of the security or such other percentage or amount as may be specified by the Securities and Exchange Board by making regulations on its behalf. If the stated minimum amount has not been subscribed and the sum payable on application is not received within a period of 30 days from the date of issue of the prospectus or such other period as may be specified by Securities and Exchange Board, the amount received under subsection 1 shall be returned within such time and manner as may be prescribed. Whenever a company having a share capital makes any allotment of securities, it shall file with the registrar a return of allotment in such manner as may be prescribed. In case of any default under subsection 3 or subsection 4, the company and its officer who is in default shall be liable to a penalty for each default of 1000 rupees for each day during which such default continues or 1 lakh rupees whichever is less. 40. Securities to be dealt with in stock exchange. Every company making public offer shall, before making such offer, make an application to one or more recognized stock exchange or exchanges and obtain permissions for the securities to be dealt with in such stock exchange or exchanges. Such a prospectus states that an application under subsection 1 has been made. Such prospectus shall also state the names or name of the stock exchange in which the securities shall be dealt with. All monies received on application from the public for subscription to the securities shall be kept in a separate account in the scheduled bank and shall not be utilized for any purpose other than: first, for adjustment against allotment of securities where the securities have been permitted to be dealt with in the stock exchange or stock exchanges specified in the prospectus, or for the repayment of monies within the time specified by Securities and Exchange Board received from applicants in pursuance of prospectus where the company is for any other reason unable to allot securities. Any condition purporting to require or bind any applicant for securities to waive compliance with any of the requirements of this section shall be void. If a default is made in complying with the provisions of this section, the company shall be punishable with a fine which shall not be less than 5 lakh rupees but which may extend to 50 lakh rupees, and every officer of the company who is default shall be punishable with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 1 year, or with fine which shall not be less than 50,000 rupees but which may extend to 3 lakh rupees, or with both. A company may pay commission to any person in connection with the subscription to its securities subject to such conditions as may be prescribed. Global depository receipt. A company may, after passing a special resolution in its general meeting, issue depository receipts to any foreign country in such manner and subject to such conditions as may be prescribed. Part 2. Private placement. 42. Offer or invitation of subscription of securities on private placement. Without prejudice to the provisions of section 26 of a company may, subject to a provision of this section, make private placement through issue of private placement offer letter. Subject to subsection 1, the offer of securities or invitation to subscribe securities shall be made to such number of persons not exceeding 50 or such higher number as may be prescribed, excluding qualified institutional buyers and employees of the company being offered securities under a scheme of employee stock option as a provision of clause B or subsection 1 of section 62 in a financial year, and on such conditions including the form of manner of private placement as may be prescribed. Explanation 1. If a company listed or unlisted makes an offer to allot or invites subscription or allots or enters into an agreement to allot securities to more than prescribed number of persons, whether the payment of the securities has been received or not, or whether the company intends to list its securities or not to any recognized stock exchange in or outside India, the same shall be deemed to be an offer to the public and shall accordingly be governed by the provisions of this part 1 of the chapter. Explanation 2. For the purpose of this section, the expression qualified institutional buyer means the qualified institutional buyer as defined in the Securities and Exchange Board of India Issue of Capital and Disclosure Requirements Regulations 2009 as amended from time to time. Private placement means any offer or securities or invitation to subscribe securities to a select group of persons by a company other than by the way of public offer through issue of private placement offer letter and which satisfies the conditions specified in this section. No fresh offer or invitation under this section shall be made unless the allotments with respect to any offer or invitation made earlier have been completed or that offer or invitation has been withdrawn or abandoned by the company. Any offer or invitation not in compliance with the provisions of this section shall be treated as a public offer, and all provisions of this Act and the Securities Contract Regulations Act 1956, 42 of 1956, and the Securities and Exchange Board of India Act 1992, 15 of 1992, shall be required to be complied with. All monies payable towards subscription of securities under this section shall be paid through check or demand draft or other banking channels but not by cash. A company making an offer or invitation under this section shall allot its securities within 60 days from the date of receipt of the application money for such securities, and if the company is not able to allot securities within that period, it shall repay the application money to the subscribers within 15 days from the date of completion of 60 days, and if the company fails to repay the application money within the aforesaid period, it shall be liable to repay that money with interest at the rate of 12% per annum from the expiry of the 60th day. Provided that monies received on application under this section shall be kept in a separate bank account in a scheduled bank and shall not be utilized for any purpose other than, first, for adjustment against allotment of securities or for repayment of monies where the company is unable to allot securities. All offers covered under this section shall be made only to such persons whose names are recorded by the company prior to the invitation to subscribe, and that such person shall receive the offer by name, and that a complete record of such offers shall be kept by a company in such manner as may be prescribed, and complete information about such offer shall be filed with the registrar within a period of 30 days of circulation of relevant private placement offer letter. No company offering securities under this section shall release any public advertisements or utilize any media, marketing or distribution channels or agents to inform the public at large about such an offer. Whenever a company makes any allotment of securities under this section, it shall file with the registrar a return of allotment in such manner as may be prescribed, including the complete list of all security holders with their full names, address, number of securities allotted, and such other relevant information as may be prescribed. If a company makes an offers or accept monies in contravention of this section, the company, its promoters and directors shall be liable for a penalty which may extend to the amount involved in the offer or invitation or 2 crore rupees, whichever is higher, and the company shall also refund all monies to the subscribers within a period of 30 days of the order imposing the penalty.